Hey guys, it's the Real China Sister. I'm back with another video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment below. So tonight's video is gonna be a review on Netflix's new release called Fatal Affair with Nia Long and Omar Epps. I'm literally fresh off of watching it. That's why I'm choosing to do this review now. Me personally, I enjoyed the movie. I loved watching it. I know a lot of people out there feel like, oh, it's like every other movie we've seen with the crazy ex or the crazy side boyfriend or whatever. Yes, it's like Fatal Attraction. Yes, it's like Obsessed. That other movie, The Perfect Guy. Yes, it's like that type of vibe, but I personally enjoyed it mostly because it was Nia Long and Omar Epps. Me, I'm a huge Nia Long and Omar Epps fan. Come on, that's the best man with Nia Long. You got Juice with Omar Epps. You got Friday with Nia Long. Like, them two have been in a lot of classic black movies, and I absolutely I enjoyed seeing them on screen together because it's been such a long time. If you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want it spoiled for you, then I suggest you don't watch this video because I'm going to be talking about things that went on in the movie and what I thought about it.
The beat live, you know Lil Juke made it.
So basically, you know, the movie opens up. I'm going to skip the first part about the couple that we're not sure who they are yet because I don't really care about that part right now. Let's start with Nia Long and her husband. So you basically see like the transition of, you know, they got a new home. She's leaving her law firm job to start her own practice. It's now Nia Long and her husband. I know I keep seeing Nia Long and her husband because I don't know that man like that to just be calling him by his name. Like, yeah, he's an actor too, but come on, it's Nia Long. Like, come on. So Nia Long and her husband, like, their daughter is off to college. So, like, they're together now. It's just them in the house. The daughter isn't there because she's away at Berkeley, I believe it was. So now it's like, okay, the husband and the wife have time together now. And, you know, I always wondered about that transition and what that's like. I've never been married. I always wondered what that transition is like where, you know, the kids are gone now. Now it's just us after all these years. Again, I've never been married. I have two parents, you know, I went away to school. So I wonder what that was like for them. Like, oh, now it's just us. And it's like when we first met. Like, that's so nice. But obviously you could tell from this movie that her and him, like, it's a little shaky or they're working through something or there's just like, there's no magic there. Like, there's no pizzazz in their marriage. There's nothing like spicing it up. Like, it's like mad dry. And she keeps referencing, like, in the beginning of the movie to, like, her friends or to whoever asks that he's recovering from something. And I don't know what that something is, but I'm thinking, okay, we're going to find out whatever it is he's recovering from, that he's just got all these pills on his side of the bed that he's recovering from. So she goes into work one day and, you know, the new guy, the new tech guy or whatever at her firm. Hold on, I need water. Okay. The new tech guy at her firm happens to be a guy she used to be friends with back in the day. So it's like, oh my God, how you been? I ain't seen you in mad long. Like, what you been up to? And so he offers like, oh, let's go out to get drinks or let's go out to whatever. And I think the first time he asked to go out with her, like, she said no or whatever. But like the second time he asked her out, she was like, oh, you know, I'm going out with my friend tonight, but you should like totally come. So she invited him out. She invited him out, you know, like, cause I'm watching this movie and I'm just the spiciness of it, like she knew she shouldn't have been inviting him nowhere. So, you know, that night she goes to the place where she's supposed to meet her friend and Omar Epps, and Omar Epps is there already because he Joe as shit. He ready to be in her face, but she calls her friend because the girlfriend isn't there, and the friend's like, oh my God, I got caught up in work. Like, you have a good time, but I totally can't make it. So, of course, she's left with Omar Epps for the night. And, you know, the spiciness of it, like, she knew she should have left. Like, she should have just been like, all right, like, I mean, I guess she was trying to be nice or whatever. But, so, you know, Omar Epps and Nia Long, they stay at the place. It looks like a restaurant that they're at. It looks like they're at a restaurant and, you know, they're having some drinks, but she's just having a little bit of wine and she's not drinking too much. Like, she's trying to keep it appropriate at first. They're reminiscing about what it used to be and back in the day and blah. Y'all know how it go. My issue with Nia Long in this scene is that her husband texts her and he's like, oh, how's like being out with Courtney? Cause she ain't tell her husband that Omar Epps was gonna be there. She gonna text him back talking about, oh, she said, hey. She knew she had no business being out with another man. Like, she knew it. That's why she didn't tell him up front, like, oh, I'm with so-and-so. And this is what I mean about people, like men and women. Like, you know when something you do is wrong. All that, oh, we were just catching up. Y'all know when that shit isn't right. And y'all still be playing. And she was playing. So, you know, they have a little wine. They're having a good time, whatever, at the little restaurant. I'm thinking sis is going to go home. Like, okay, we caught up, whatever. Then they go to the club. I don't know if the restaurant they were at, like, had some kind of downstairs that was a club or whatever. But how she end up with this man at the club doing shots? Like, I just did not understand that. Like, that's not okay. Now she doing shots. Like, first, you know, at first she was like, oh, I'll just have a little bit of wine. Now sis is doing shots. Like, sis is trying to get wild or something. Like, you can't just be doing shots. So, you know, they're taking shots. They're conversating. You know, the conversation is getting a little flirty. And I can honestly say the flirting to me started on Nia Long's end. Talking about, oh, why didn't we date back then? Like, that's some flirty, forward shit to say. And you married. Like, Nia. Like, that's not okay. So they're taking shots by the bar. Then all of a sudden he take her out to the dance floor. They all bumping and grinding on each other. She bumping and grinding on him like he her husband. And that just was not okay. Like, I know that, you know, clearly in their marriage from looking at it, like, it's missing that spiciness or whatever. But you don't go looking for that shit. Instead of talking things out with her husband, she out at the club bumping and grinding with old boy, with Omar Epps, who a lot of us would probably like to bump and grind with. So once things start getting like really like intimate, I guess, on the dance floor between the two, you know, she runs to the bathroom. And to me in the bathroom, she's like trying to get herself together. Like, girl, no, like you ain't supposed to be here right now. Like, this is not cool. So when she opens the bathroom door, who comes swooping in? Omar Epps with his fine self. Pushing up on somebody, kissing somebody in the bathroom. Like, oh my God. It was too much for me to watch. They kissing all wild and stuff in the bathroom, like about to get they freak on, and then he unzips his pants. Like, this was too much for my eyes. And that's when she tells him, like, okay, like, I gotta stop, like, I gotta get out of here. And she runs out, and she leaves him standing there with a broken heart. And I'm like, woo, child. Because, I mean, like, she didn't have sex with him or anything, but it was still wrong. Like, I would be upset if my husband was kissing some broad and was out with some broad, didn't tell me. Like, there were just too many little things where it's like, okay, girl, like, you knew this was wrong. So what they show after that incident is basically she moves on from it. She never tells her husband about it. Then you see this transition of, okay, her and her husband are starting to be okay now. Like, they dancing with each other outside. They're taking walks. They're cooking together. Everything is just all schmancy-pantsy. Everything's great and romantic. And they're making love again in the shower. Like, they showed all of that. But then they slightly show you her phone and shows you this man, Omar Epps, whose name in the movie is David. He's still calling her and trying to get in touch with her, but she has not been answering him. Basically, she wants to move on like none of that ever happened. And she want to go on with her perfect life with her husband and her daughter. So one day when she's walking to her car outside, here come Omar Epps popping up like a crazy person. He tries to talk to her. He tries to say, oh, he can't stop thinking about that night. She let him know, like, basically, bro, I can't see you like that. I'm married. Where was all that energy when you was bumping and grinding on him, sis? Like, I just want to know. But yeah, she basically tells him, like, yo, like, he got to leave her alone or whatever. So she ain't see him again after that. I think after that, he tried to text her, like, twice, and then she blocked his number. So this is what he did next. I guess he felt like, if you ain't gonna let me be in your life, I'm gonna make myself a part of your life. So he decides to start dating her friend Courtney. So, like, there's this one night where Nia Long and her husband have a dinner, and they're inviting the girlfriend Courtney, Nia Long's best friend Courtney. And Courtney calls and is like, oh yeah, I'm bringing a +1, blah, blah. And they think nothing of it. They're like, oh yeah, bringing blah, blah. So when the +1 shows up, it's Omar Epps' crazy ass. You know, when Nia Long see him, like, she's standing there scared as shit, because, like, now this nigga's in my house. And then he got the nerve to shake her hand like, hi, my name is David. What kind of crazy shit is that? So they sit there, they all having dinner. Nia Long goes to the kitchen, I believe, to get like dessert or get whatever, and she asks the best friend Courtney to come with her, and Omar Epps like, oh nah, I'll help her. So then he goes in the kitchen with her, and she basically tells him like, yo, like, I don't ever want to see you over here again. Like, what are you doing here? Don't you understand? He's like, you won't answer my call, so I'm up in the spot like, whoa. So she basically tells him like, you know, I don't want to see you around my family. I don't want to see you around me. Don't come around me. Don't come around my house. Blah, blah. Go out there right now. Make an excuse why you got to leave. Or blah, blah. Like, she threatened him, letting him know, like, you can't do this with me. So he goes out there. He makes an excuse as to why he has to leave. And she don't see him. This man starts texting her from unknown numbers, saying he can't stop thinking about her. They show a scene where he's standing outside her house watching her and her husband make love and stuff like that. He was just going full-blown crazy. Like, he had a whole therapist and everything in that movie, and the therapist was saying like he's a narcissist and trying to work with him. And you know, the underground of this story is that Omar Epps' character David had a wife named Deborah, and basically he killed Deborah and Deborah knew man. You know, he has that whole obsessed, crazy psychopath thing going on. So after the whole dinner thing, you know, he starts harassing Nia Long and he won't leave her alone. He's still dating the best friend, acting crazy. One day the best friend comes into Nia Long's place of work and tells her, oh, David told me you pushed up on him and you wanted him to be your side piece. Basically, she didn't use side piece, but that's what I'm saying right now. Because affair. That's what she said. You wanted to have an affair with him and he turned you down and now you won't leave him alone. Like, he basically flipped what he was doing to Nia Long on Nia Long and made the best friend believe that Nia Long was trying to have an affair. But I really didn't like that the best friend was so quick to believe what a new nigga is saying. Like, what kind of friend are you? I wouldn't even want to be my friend with that type of attitude. So because of this conversation, you know, Nia Long winds up sneaking in Omar Epps' house and looking through his computer, and then she sees all these pictures of her and her husband being intimate. Like, Omar Epps was just on some crazy shit in that movie. Like, he's just around, like, stalking her, taking pictures of her, watching her and her husband have sex from outside. Like, that is a whole other level of crazy I hope I never experience. So after she finds the pictures in Omar Epps' laptop and everything, she sends all that information to her best friend, like, yo, he's crazy, he's been stalking me, blah, blah, like, here are the pictures. And she sends the pictures to the best friend. Yo, and Omar Epps was standing right behind sis when she's looking at the pictures, and he started coming up on the best friend, and he knocked the best friend out or did something to her because, like, she was passed out or whatever. Nia Long was already on her way running to the best friend's apartment because she knew he was going to do something to her. She called the cops. There's a whole investigation. That's when she winds up finally confessing to her husband what's been going on. One thing I kind of didn't understand about the whole scene of her confessing this whole thing to her husband is the husband was a little too chill for me. Like, not that she had sex with him and not that the husband gotta beat her ass or, like, bug out, but, like, he was a little too chill about that situation. Like, your wife went out with a man, kissed another man, was all up on a man in the bathroom and all that, and he's just real calm, but whatever. I mean, I guess that's supposed to be his character. So, you know, the police is watching them, watching for Omar Epps to pop up. You know, now Omar Epps is on the news. They're talking about how he's a raging psychopath, whatever, narcissist, whatever they classify him as. So there's a night where Nia Long, her husband, the daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend are, like, in the kitchen cooking or something, doing something together, and Nia Long receives a text message from her secretary saying, hey, there's a new case, blah, blah, it has to be done by Thanksgiving, left it on your desk. So she runs over to her firm to go get the case. She leaves her husband, the daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend in the house while she goes to pick up papers from her office. And when she gets to her office, she finds her secretary on the floor. Now, I don't know if the secretary was dead or if she was just knocked out or something or stabbed. I don't know. They didn't really go into that or get into that. But she gets a phone call, I think, from Omar Epps saying, like, oh, you left them unattended, talking about her family. So, of course, she rushes back to her car like, oh, my God. And she starts calling the detective on the case saying he's at my house or he's not dead or blah blah, whatever she's saying, and the detective immediately calls someone to go to the house. She gets to the house. she's walking all around the house, like, you know, all that suspenseful, like she's scared and all that because she don't know where he at. She turns on the lights to the back of the house and she sees the daughter's boyfriend. He looked dead to me. Another thing they kind of didn't clarify, he looked dead to me. So Omar Epps' crazy ass pops up out of nowhere dancing to the song that they was dancing to in the club because he crazy as hell. Basically telling her like, oh, she can start a new life with him and forget about the past and blah, blah, because he's a crazy ass narcissist. While he's turning around dancing, she takes it upon herself to like grab one of the knives in her kitchen thinking she gonna run up on him and stab him or thinking she gonna get close to him and stab him. And of course that didn't go over very well because he took that shit right from her. Somehow they get into a little scuffle. She hits him a little bit and she winds up running upstairs to find her husband and the daughter tied up. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is that the husband was in the house. It's not like the daughter was in her house by herself. I want to know how Omar Epps managed to tie up the father and the daughter. Like, I want to know how that happened because there ain't no way my dad would have let some crazy man tie me up. The father comes over. He's trying to get Omar Epps off of Nia Long. Here's my problem. This nigga can't fight. Like, okay, he wasn't that angry or he wasn't showing really any emotion about the fact that she was out with Omar Epps and kind of had a little bit halfway night of passion with Omar Epps. That was strike one for me. Strike two was he let the daughter get tied up. So, you know, Nia Long comes in and she uses the knife to untie the rope. She runs and then the father's untying the rope off the daughter. They all manage to run outside to where they believe a cop car is there. The cop is dead because I guess Omar Epps' crazy ass already done went out there and snatched his neck or stabbed his neck or whatever he did. The daughter and the father run to the car. The daughter gets in the car and the father tells her to drive away. Now, I'll give him that little thing. So now Nia Long is again in a scuffle with Omar Epps. Here come the father. Like, damn, you can't protect the daughter. You can't protect Nia. I see why she went out looking for something different. I see why she went out with Omar Epps. Now, me, I am not for cheating. I am not for any of that, especially when you marry. You know, boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, I don't think you should cheat when you boyfriend and girlfriend. But when you married, you done put God in that relationship. And that is some serious shit. But I see why Nia's eyes was like kind of going the other way. Because you can't even fight, my nigga. Like, you can't even protect sis. Like, the type of household that I grew up in, like, my father is a protector. He is a provider. You know, along with being a provider and being our father, he is a protector. He has always protected us. I've never felt unsafe with my father. That's why any man I get with, I have got to feel safe with him. I have got to feel like this man will protect me at all costs. This nigga that Nia Long is married to did not protect her at all costs. Throughout that entire end of the movie where they scuffling with Omar Epps, Omar Epps keep beating his ass. Like, that ain't, like, I'm not saying a man has to be an animal. You know, maybe if I was raised by a man that wasn't so, like, with the shits, then maybe I can deal with a man that's not with the shits. But if something bad happens or danger is coming my way as somebody's wife, I want to feel protected. Nia Long's husband is not no protector. His character was not. So it's basically the end of the movie of them. They all scuffling, they all fighting, and then Omar Epps, he fall off a cliff or whatever. And they show him dead on the floor. And then the end of the movie is happily ever after. But that husband really pissed me off with that not fighting shit. Like, my guy, whatever you recover. And the other thing that bothered me about this movie, we never quite found out what the husband was recovering from. Like, yeah, we saw this little scar that he has, like, in the movie, but they didn't really go into detail about what it was that he was recovering from. I was hoping that they were keeping that a secret because in the end, he gonna fuck Omar Epps up because he had trained something. He only trained in getting his ass beat. But yeah, that was basically the movie. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. It's not like, oh, I like animals or I just like men that be going around fighting. I don't like men that just go around starting fights, but I do like a man that can protect me. And I just was not getting the vibes of protector from this husband. Like, he just only there to stand there and be pretty, and I can't date a man like that. But I guess it's whatever you're into, right? You know, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I did. I love Omar Epps. I love Nia Long. I loved all of it, like the vibes, like I just love it. I love them too as an actor and an actress. Like they've been in the game for so long, and I respect them both so much and all that they've accomplished, all the work they've done, and I enjoyed seeing them. If there's any other Netflix movie or even Hulu movie or something like that y'all want me to do a review on, and if I've seen it or I'm interested in checking it out, I will most definitely do that. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment below, and tell me you guys' opinion on the movie or after you've seen the movie or whatever. I'll see you guys soon with another video.